The digital world moves fast, but real growth comes from real conversations. This is e-Coffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, e-Coffee with Experts. Today we have Krista, who is the partner and CMO at Brandspot Inc. with us. Hey, Krista, how's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. Krista, before we move any forward, let's get to know the human behind the mic. Why don't you talk us through your journey a bit and how did you land up in the digital marketing space? And we'll take it off from there.
Sure. So there's a long history there, but how I started Brandspot is it was one of those things that turned, professional burnout became a little bit of a business breakthrough. Yeah. I had been working for 25 plus years in marketing. And the last place I was, it was leading a team. Everything was very operational at that point, what I was doing, and just wanted to find the love that I had once upon a time. Marketing is the fun job, but I'd lost that. And so it was, like I said, a perfect timing. I was at a point in my career where I was really ready for something new, something that brought back the excitement. Around that same time, my now business partner, who's someone who I'd worked with in the past and really trusted and enjoyed, was also feeling the same pull, the same drive. And we both had lots of experience and we wanted to do something across different industries. And we realized that, you know what, we have this foundation. Let's create something that could be really interesting. And then the final piece, who is our third partner, and she's also a longtime colleague, and an incredibly talented graphic designer. She joined as well. She was at a point in her career where she was saying, I just want to have a bit more creativity and I want to do more of what I love. And it's the perfect mix. We have strategy, we have storytelling, we have design. And it's all under one roof. And with the three of us, it's, that analogy, it's the three-legged stool. We're balanced and we want to support something really well. So, that's the nugget of it is we were chasing a business idea. And this is where we are. We have Brandspot Inc.
Lovely. And then talk us about you describing, founding Brandspot as your lemonade moment.
Well, I think I touched on it a little bit. Was I had been working as a director of corporate marketing at a firm, and it was a big company, and it was all operations. There was anything that was interesting or valuable was lost. And I was just feeling that pull of, when you have to get up in the morning and you're thinking, I don't want to do this. And I thought, I'm too old for this. This is not what I want to be doing. But you have bills to pay and you have to do what you want to do. You have to be a grown up. But I thought there has to be a better way. And that was my lemonade moment, is just saying, you know what? You're talented, you have skills, lots of people. Take the old lemons and make lemonade, as opposed to sit here and whine about it. And that was my big lemonade moment.
Lovely. Great analogy there. So, Krista, we have a lot of agencies, right? And a lot of young entrepreneurs kind of getting into the space. So it is a crowded marketplace, right? So what is your USP, as an agency, which kind of differentiates from all the crowd out there?
Great question. And I wish I had the perfect answer, but I'll just give you an honest answer. Because you're right. There, you could throw a rock and hit 15 agencies. Yeah. It's like a real estate agent. There's a lot of them. Some are great, some are not. I have not met an agency that hasn't been great. But I think what our agency brings is we gap the big agency thinking with boutique agency access. And I say that because I was also the big agency at one point. I worked at IBM, and we often hired agencies because to do our day-to-day, and if there was a special project we had to do, we would hire an agency and get it done quickly. And there were some agencies I'd worked with that were phenomenal, and you just had them on speed dial. And there's some that you're thinking, it was too much work to get them to do anything because they had to bring them up to speed. They were very junior. We all experienced this. And so we bring that to the table. Is you're getting really senior level expertise without the overhead of a brand new hire. You don't have any red tape. You don't have to pay insurance. You don't have to pay anything. And you don't have to bring us up to speed other than what the job is. So we're seasoned strategists. We have decades of experience across brand and product and demand marketing. We also, with every client, we do have juniors on our team that help with the work, but we are the project managers for each client. The three of us, one of us will be always there. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes, you bring on the client
that'll be a layer before you for sure. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of our clients, interestingly, are in specialized sectors. Like we have real estate, we have healthcare, we have dental, we have construction, we have professional associations. We have a lot of different industries, and they come to us because to really simplify their message. So we have to be getting up to speed really on industry and strategy, and that isn't a junior role. That is really understanding how to understand your market and what the messaging is. Tactics, I understand tactics are the fun part, but you've got to have a reason. You can have the best website in the world. You can have the best anything. If no one's going to it, it's a waste of your money. Yeah. So that's why we bring that kind of intelligence to our role.
Lovely. And you have often spoken about our marketing is, kind of confused with advertising. What is your theory on this?
Well, it's funny you say that. So marketing is a pie, right? And people are like, oh, do advertising for me. That's a tactic within marketing. There's all sorts of things. So there's that answer. Marketing is many, many different things. And I'll give you an example of within marketing. I was applying for a job a million years ago as director of corporate marketing for this company. And as soon as I started interviewing, I realized that's not what they needed. They needed a demand gen person. They had no name to, if you're doing corporate marketing, that is a positioning of your brand. That's your reputation. That's the 8-bar logo with IBM, that type of thing. They didn't have a name. So how are you doing corporate marketing? It is campaigns, it's channels, it's metrics to drive action, it's getting leads. So it's helping. That I think is a big confusion in the market. Is not all marketing is equal. There's corporate marketing, there's product marketing, there's demand gen marketing, and it's knowing when to pull these levers depending on what the company is looking for. And maybe you need all of it at some point, but you don't lead with one when you need the other. So that is when there's always confusion, and it's trying to explain that without pandering or being insulting to a client, because people are very intelligent in their own ways, but if you're not living that world, sometimes you use words that isn't exactly what you want. And then if I went ahead and did corporate marketing for them, we wouldn't have succeeded because that's not what they needed. So that's when I say there is confusion. And that's why we really like to help our clients or anyone really understand the difference. So really saying when you get to an agency or when you're talking to someone about what you want, don't try and give it a name. Just say what it is you're looking for. What is the outcome you're looking for? And that's a much easier way than saying, I need product marketing. That's my big rant for the day.
And then you also work with a lot of architects, right? So
yes.
How is it different from the other industries? I mean, what things work? What things you should be looking at if you kind of want to get into this niche?
So it's like anything. There was one of our first clients was the Royal Architect Institute of Canada. And so they're an association of thousands of architects. And they were trying to hire someone full-time. And while they were trying to do that, get the full-time person, they hired an agency, which a lot of clients are doing these days. They're realizing that it's quick to, if you need the work done while you're hiring, we also help hire. That's the way to do it. And so through that, architects started reaching out to us saying, can you help us? And everything is a little niched, right? A little what they're looking for. An architect is not going to be doing lead gen necessarily. They're a professional association. They have a different look, a different feel than other areas. So it's understanding it's understanding the industry, but it's also understanding exactly what the client wants. We had one architect who did actually want to do some email campaigns and things like that, but not just shotgun type. They're very specific and to certain areas and to certain types of clients. So it's just listening and understanding exactly what they're looking for.
Nice. And what are these, discovery calls like, Krista? I mean, you'd also be speaking with a lot of business owners, kind of trying to understand what they are, what do they want to achieve out of the partnership, right? So give us some insights into how do you prepare, what questions you ask, what are like the must-haves that you expect from the founders, business owners before you kind of get them onboarded?
Yeah, good questions. Some of it is learning to say no first.
Good one. Yeah.
Like many new agencies, we're eager to grow, and you feel pressure and you want to take every opportunity that comes your way. But then you quickly realize that you don't want to fail. And I think I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, was really hearing what the request is. So if someone says, I want a new website. Wonderful. Why? What is it you want to get out of this website? Is it you want to get leads? Do you want to drive people to your website? Like, what is the outcome of this website, or whatever it is they need? So it's really just asking the questions about the outcomes. What is it you want to do? What's the ROI? How many leads do you want to get? How much money do you want to make in the year? And that way, it's like, don't come to us with tactics. We'll help you make the right tactics for your strategy. And I think any agency, anyone in marketing will say the same thing. People will ask for a tactic. And as soon as you do, you got to say, okay, wonderful. Now, what do you want to do? Like, why? Let's get that out of the way. Let's get a strategy first. So I always will start with a strategy, whether they want it or not, even just for myself. And then I can at least guide them properly in outcomes, because you never want to have someone feel disappointed in any kind of money they've spent or any effort they've done, actually. And everyone's business is their livelihood, is their life, is their baby. And you want it to be successful. So I want to help them get there.
Any instances of you, kind of saying no to a client?
Not no, I won't work with you, but no, I don't think that's what you want to do.
Okay.
Yes. And that is actually more often than not. And I don't say, no, you're not going to do that for you. It's working with them to help them understand why that might not be in their best interest. Have I ever said, heck no? No. I have absolutely, though, guided and helped them think it was their idea.
Yeah.
Gently, like a mom, helping them get where they should be going.
There you go, experience for you. Ever fired a client, Krista?
Not yet. I wanted to at my last job, but no,
Okay.
I have not. We have wonderful clients, and just in case they ever see this, they really are. They're really fun to work with, but we vet them. Like I said, if something is not if I don't think it's going to be successful, I don't want to be the agency that helped it fail.
Yeah,
But I haven't really had anyone come to me yet and say, I have this great idea and it sounds bonkers to me.
I also very firmly believe in this philosophy of, your attention starting with your sales. If you've sold it right, 9 out of 10 times, the client is going to stick around for quite a long time with you guys, because you know what the problem was. You sold it right. You explain the offerings. You both are on the same page. There is no reason why it should not work out in the long run between you guys, because, there is clarity on both ends. Only when probably, a sales team has pushed through something, or maybe, the client at their end just have thought, okay, this might gonna work. Let's take a chance, sort of a thing. Only then, there are higher chances that the relationship might not last longer. But yeah, otherwise, if you have kind of vetted every business that's coming on board, from a sales standpoint at the very beginning of the relationship, the retention is going to take care of it itself.
I completely agree. And if there's trust, and I even with contractors that I use, if I trust you, you're the one person I go to all the time. And that's just, I think anyone feels that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what is your general take on AI, Krista? It has been a couple of years now. It has, kind of, we are getting into the storm deeper and deeper, it seems, right? So what is your take on it? And then one more thing, just to add to that, what is, your go-to tool that you're using like day in, day out these days?
So SEMrush is my go-to tool. I love SEMrush. I use it for a lot of my industry research. They're expensive, but I find that tool wonderful. As for AI, AIO is what everyone's calling it now, right? Instead of SEO. Mm-hmm. If I can get people to rank in AI on ChatGPT, on Gemini, on whatever the heck platform you want to use, they're going there now to do their research, they being the clients, and they're going to websites just to buy. They've already made a decision through AI. Yeah. I love AI. I embrace AI. I am a marketer who uses AI. And I think it's understanding it and not being afraid of it and using it to your full ability. You're a fool not to, but it's changing every day. You got to stay on top. We got to understand it. So, I now, even for my own website, we're doing everything just to get us to rank for AI. SEO, of course, well, it's just sort of, it seems like a little bit of the grandfather of what it used to be. I would never go to Google to search anymore. I know I have children who are, in the working now who would never use Google. Now, they're not necessarily my demographic, but it's interesting that seems to be where people go now to do their research, where they used to go to Google. But that's where my focus is right now. I completely embrace it. Anything about AI, I love.
Lovely, lovely. Thanks for your insights there. Great, Krista. This has been a great conversation. But before we let you go, I'd like to play a quick rapid fire with you. I hope you're game for it.
Okay.
All right, let's start with an easy one. Your last Google search.
Meatloaf.
Your last Google search.
Was meatloaf.
Okay, sorry.
It was a recipe.
Right. Okay. Your favorite, vacation spot or your destination?
My favorite destination spot would be Tofino in Vancouver, on Vancouver Island.
Okay. I thought it was Mexico. Anyway. All right. Where do we find you on Friday evenings, Krista, after work?
Friday evenings, a glass of wine on my couch with my dogs and my husband.
Lovely. There you go. And what did you do with the first paycheck, Krista? First paycheck of your life?
My gosh, I probably spent it on eyeliner or something ridiculous. Something materialistic, I'm sure.
Okay, the last one will not get any further. Your celebrity crush.
My celebrity crush used to be, and I've since changed it, used to be Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
But I'm turned off him. So now I'm going to say Rory McIlroy, the golfer. He's my celebrity crush.
Lovely. Great, Krista. Thank you so much for taking out time to do this with us. I'm sure our audiences would have loved the insights shared by you. And yeah, for them, if they want to reach out to you, how would they do that?
You can reach out to contact@brandspot.ca or at Krista Wheatley at brandspot.
Lovely. Thanks once again, Krista. It was lovely speaking with you. Cheers.
Cheers. Same to you.